Downtown never slept. Neon signs bled into wet asphalt. Sirens echoed between glass towers, and power lived behind tinted windows. Jonathan Mercer ruled this city's courtrooms. At 42, John was untouchable, or so it seemed. Tailored suits, a penthouse view, a win rate that scared prosecutors into plea deals. If you were rich, dangerous, or both, John Mercer was the man you called. He didn't just defend criminals, he outplayed the system. But success came with silence, and silence hid rot. His marriage looked perfect from the outside. Inside, it was empty. Conversations replaced by schedules, touch replaced by habit. Sophia felt the distance, but never named it. John never explained it. Lila did. Lila Grant was his secretary, sharp, ambitious, and always 2 steps ahead. She didn't just manage his calendar, she managed his chaos. Late nights blurred into stolen moments, locked doors, whispered laughs. Every touch was risky, every risk felt addictive. They both knew it could end badly. They did it anyway. Last week, John defended a mob-connected client accused of executing a rival in broad daylight. The jury never saw the blood. John made sure of that. The verdict came back clean. Freedom bought with legal brilliance and a long list of enemies. Tonight, John left his office late. The building emptied behind him. His reflection followed him in the glass as he crossed the street toward his car. Someone else was watching. A figure stood across the road, hoodie low, hands steady. No hesitation, no panic, just intent. The shot cracked through the night. John flinched, but he wasn't hit. Across the street, a woman collapsed. A grocery bag burst open. Fruit rolled across the pavement. A second body fell, small, lifeless, 4 years old. Screams replaced traffic noise, blood-soaked concrete that had nothing to do with crime. Sirens came fast. John froze behind his car door. His phone buzzed non-stop, alerts, breaking news, chaos flooding his screen. He stared at the scene, heart pounding, stomach hollow. Someone tried to kill him, and 2 innocent people paid the price. By morning, the city was furious. News channels looped the footage. Headlines screamed about a mother and child killed by a stray bullet. Protesters gathered. Politicians demanded answers. The case went from tragic to explosive overnight. And John knew this wasn't random. Back at the office, Lila sensed it immediately. The tension, the way John's hands shook as he poured coffee. "John," she said quietly, closing the door behind her, "talk to me." He didn't. His mind raced through old cases, angry clients, buried secrets, and one thought wouldn't let go. What if the bullet wasn't meant for him alone? The affair, the lies, the people watching, everything he built suddenly felt fragile. Outside, police lights flashed against the windows of his tower. Inside, John stared at his reflection, no longer powerful, no longer safe. Someone wanted him dead, and they weren't done yet.
The city didn't mourn quietly. By sunrise, squad cars blocked intersections, yellow tape sliced through sidewalks, and camera crews camped outside police headquarters. A mother and her child were dead, and the city wanted blood. Detective Marcus Hale got the case. Hale wasn't flashy, mid-40s, coffee instead of sleep, eyes that missed nothing. He stood over the crime scene, hands in pockets, studying the bullet's path. One shot, one miss, two bodies. This wasn't random chaos, it was sloppy intent. Target wasn't the victims, Hale muttered. Then who? A rookie asked. Hale looked up at the glass tower across the street. Jonathan Mercer. John's name surfaced fast, too fast. By noon, detectives were in his office, polite, professional, dangerous in their calm. John played it cool. He knew the routine better than anyone. He'd stood on the other side of that table 100 times. "Mr. Mercer," Hale said, flipping open his notebook, "anyone want you dead?" John almost laughed. Almost. "Depends," John replied. "You asking professionally or personally?" Hale didn't smile. They asked about recent cases, gang ties, mob connections, threats. John answered clean, controlled. Years of courtroom discipline kicked in. But when Hale mentioned the affair, John's jaw tightened. "How do you know about Leela?" John snapped. Hale closed the notebook, because secrets don't stay secret after bodies drop. Leela felt it too. She watched detectives walk past her desk, heard her name whispered. Her phone buzzed with unknown numbers. The thrill she once loved now felt like a loaded gun. That night, John's face was everywhere. Online forums lit up, comment sections burned. Some called him a victim, others called him cursed. A few went further, suggesting the shooting was karma. Then came the leak. An anonymous tip hinted the shooter may have been aiming for Mercer and missed. Suddenly, John wasn't just a witness, he was the center. Protesters gathered outside his building, justice for the child. Someone spray-painted murderer by proxy across the lobby wall. Inside his penthouse, John drank alone, staring at the city that once bowed to him. His phone rang, unknown number. "Enjoying the attention?" a distorted voice said. Click. No threat, no demand, just confirmation. Someone was playing with him. Detective Hale wasn't convinced John was innocent, but he wasn't convinced he was guilty either. The bullet's trajectory suggested planning, not passion. The shooter knew timing, knew the street, knew John's routine. This was personal. Hale dug deeper. Former clients, disgruntled rivals, a prosecutor John humiliated years ago, even someone from his own firm. Everyone had motive, everyone had a story, and everyone was lying. Meanwhile, the victim's family broke the city's heart on live TV. A grieving father, a tiny coffin, a question that haunted every screen. If this wasn't meant for them, then who was it meant for? John watched the broadcast, guilt crawling under his skin. He survived, they didn't, and no legal argument could erase that. Late that night, Leela showed up at his door. "We need to stop," she said, voice shaken. "This ends now." John nodded, but he knew it was too late. Across the city, someone loaded another round, and this time, they weren't planning to miss. Detective Marcus Hale hated patterns. Criminals repeated themselves, same mistakes, same lies, but this case refused to sit still. Every lead pointed somewhere and nowhere at the same time. John Mercer stayed one step ahead, too calm, too careful. That made Hale nervous. The ballistic report came in at 2:17 a.m. The bullet wasn't random. It was fired from an elevated angle across the street from a temporary blind spot between two buildings. Whoever pulled the trigger knew the neighborhood,
knew John's exit time, knew when traffic thinned. This wasn't rage. This was planning. Hale pulled old case files. One name surfaced again and again, not as a criminal, but as collateral. Ethan Cross. 5 years earlier, John defended a pharmaceutical executive accused of falsifying trial data. The verdict saved millions and buried a whistleblower. Ethan Cross. Fired, discredited, his testimony shredded in court by John Mercer himself. 2 months later, Ethan's wife overdosed. His son disappeared into the foster system. John never remembered the name. That night, John couldn't sleep. He replayed the shooting in his head, the sound, the screams, the child. Every time he closed his eyes, the scene rewound, but now the bullet hit him over and over. His phone buzzed. This time it wasn't anonymous. "Lila, we need to talk now." She arrived shaking, eyes red, hands clenched. "They questioned me again," she said. "They think I'm hiding something." John stepped closer. "Are you?" She hesitated. That pause changed everything. Lila confessed, not to the shooting, but to something worse. Weeks before the attack, she'd been approached online, a burner account. Casual at first, questions about John's schedule, his routines, late nights. She told herself it was harmless, curiosity, ego. She was wrong. "I didn't know," she whispered. "I swear, I never thought." John backed away like she'd slapped him. "You gave me my life," he said. Across town, Detective Hale knocked on a door that hadn't been opened in years. Ethan Cross answered. Thin, quiet, eyes empty. The apartment was bare, no photos, no clutter, no warmth, just discipline. Ethan didn't deny it. "I didn't mean to kill them," he said calmly. "That wasn't the plan." Hale's stomach dropped. "You tried to kill Mercer." "Yes," replied Ethan, "because he killed my life." Ethan explained it like math. John wasn't a monster. He was worse. He was legal, untouchable, a man who destroyed lives with clean hands and perfect words. The city calls him successful. I call him a weapon. The miss haunted Ethan, not because John lived, but because innocence died. "I failed twice," he said. "I won't fail again." By the time Hale rushed back to issue the warrant, John Mercer was already being watched from across the street through a scope.
Rain fell like judgment. It washed over the city, over streets that had already seen too much blood, over windows where people watched history unfold from behind glass. Sirens cut through the night as Detective Marcus Hale stepped out of his car, eyes locked on the building across the street. Jonathan Mercer's building. Hale knew he was late, and late, in this case, meant someone was about to die. Across the street, Ethan Cross steadied his breathing. The rifle rested against his shoulder like it belonged there. His movements were slow, deliberate, no tremor, no doubt. This wasn't anger anymore. This was closure. In the scope, John Mercer moved through his living room, unaware, powerful, comfortable, alive. Ethan exhaled. Inside the penthouse, John felt it before he saw it, that pressure, that instinct lawyers develop when the room turns hostile. He stopped mid-step.
The city outside felt wrong, too quiet. His phone buzzed. Unknown, you should have remembered my name. The glass shattered. John hit the floor as the bullet tore through the wall, missing his head by inches. The echo thundered through the apartment. Alarms screamed. Somewhere below, people ran. This time, the shooter didn't miss by accident. Hale burst through the lobby doors, shouting orders into his radio. Snipers took position, streets locked down. But Ethan didn't run. He stayed, because this wasn't about escape. Upstairs, John crawled behind the kitchen island, heart slamming against his ribs. His entire career flashed through his mind, not victories, but faces, people he'd dismantled with words, lives ruined legally, cleanly, permanently. For the first time, John understood something terrifying. Ethan wasn't wrong. The final shot never came. Instead, Ethan lowered the rifle. He stood up, hands visible, as police flooded the rooftop. He didn't fight. He didn't beg. When they cuffed him, he looked relieved. "It's over," he said. The arrest didn't end the story. It detonated it. At trial, the city watched every second. Ethan Cross didn't deny the attempt. He didn't deny intent. He spoke calmly, clearly, and without hate. He talked about truth buried under verdicts, about justice twisted by skill, about how the law protected those who knew how to bend it. And then, John Mercer took the stand. No one expected what happened next. John didn't defend himself. He didn't attack Ethan. He told the truth about the case 5 years ago, about destroying a man who told the truth because winning mattered more, about the affair, about ego, about how innocent people died because someone tried to kill him. The courtroom went silent. That day, John Mercer dismantled himself the way he once dismantled others. The verdict came back guilty. Ethan Cross was sentenced to life, but the city didn't cheer. Outside the courthouse, people argued, not about guilt, but about blame. The law had spoken, but justice felt incomplete. John resigned the next morning. He gave up his license, his firm, his name. The penthouse emptied. The suits disappeared. Lila left the city without goodbye. Sophia signed the papers quietly. Months passed. John now lived somewhere quieter, smaller, anonymous. He volunteered at a legal aid clinic, helping people who couldn't afford brilliance, only fairness. One evening, he stood outside the courthouse, watching rain fall on concrete. Detective Hale joined him. "You could have walked away," Hale said. "Most men like you do." John nodded. "I already did. That's the problem." They stood in silence. Across the street, a mother held her child's hand, crossing safely. John watched until they disappeared. Some stories don't end with redemption. They end with responsibility. And sometimes that's the hardest verdict of all.
If this story made you think, subscribe for more.